It feels like spring is in the air. Last week it was below 0. Today it's like 50 degrees warmer. It's a little windy, but we're outside and I'm ready to grill. And what better dish to make than an easy and delicious barbecue chicken? It's one of my favorite things to make during the summer, and it just screams backyard barbecue. But today I'm gonna make it with a twist. I'm gonna brine it in cherry coke, and we'll make a delicious cola sauce to finish it off. Let's start by making the brine first. Cool, Dad. I'm only gonna use 2 ingredients. I've got cherry coke and kosher salt. Yes, I did say kosher salt. The salt is what will actually allow the brine flavor to penetrate into the meat. If you just did the soda without adding any additional salt, you get very little of the brine flavor into the chicken. The ratios for the brine are very simple. For every can of Coke, use 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. I'm gonna start by pouring my Coke into a container that's large enough to hold the chicken. Next, add your salt, and give it a mix until the salt is completely dissolved. Nothing like a salty cherry Coke. There's actually one more ingredient I forgot to mention earlier. I'm gonna add 2 sliced jalapenos. This will help balance out the sweetness from the soda, give our brine a little kick, and really take that flavor over the top. One more mix. Brine is ready to go, so next let's prep the chicken. I'm in the mood for grilling chicken halves, so I'm gonna flip my chicken over and start by removing the backbone and splitting it right down the middle. 2 nice chicken halves. You can use any cut of chicken for this recipe. If you want to do a spatchcock chicken, remove that backbone, but don't split it. Or use chicken breast, chicken wings, thighs. It honestly doesn't matter. Any cut here will work. Next, put your chicken in the brine. If you see that your chicken is floating to the top, just put a plate or something heavy right over the top, and that'll help push it down. Now, this whole thing goes in the fridge, and ideally you want to brine it for 1 hour per 1 pound of meat. If you're short on time, try to go for at least an hour. The longer that it sits in the brine, the more flavorful it's gonna get. All right, it's been about 3 hours. My chicken is ready to come out of the brine. Ooh, look at that. Got a little bit darker from sitting in all that deliciousness. It smells really nice. Just gonna take these out, place them on a wire rack to drain. Before I season it, I'm gonna pat my chicken dry. Be sure to get both sides. And I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of olive oil. This will help get the skin nice and crispy when my chicken is cooking, and it will also act as a binder for my seasoning. This was sitting in the brine, which penetrated the meat, and it got it super flavorful, but for maximum flavor, I'm also gonna season it on the outside, and for that I'm gonna use my sweet barbecue oven that should complement that spicy, sweet brine really well. Jax is ready to eat too. Yeah, this one's not for you, buddy. You gotta wait, okay? I'm gonna season both sides, start on the bottom. That wind is picking up here, but try to do as good of a job as we can. Add that in, give it a flip, and now we'll season the presentation side or the skin side. Now that the chicken is seasoned up, I'm gonna let it hang out while I go fire up the grill. And what better grill to use than the classic Weber kettle? And just like all my other videos before, I'm gonna use the chimney to start the grill, fill it up with charcoal, light it, and heat it. It's been about 15 minutes, the charcoal is ready to go. So all I'm gonna do is just dump it right into the grill. And just like with most of my cooks, I'm gonna set this up for dual zone grilling. And all that means is that I have one side of the grill with the charcoal, so this is the high direct heat side, and then the side without the charcoal will be the indirect heat side. I'm gonna close the grill and let the temperature stabilize. Anytime that I'm cooking chicken, and for this cook, I like the temperature to be between 350 and 375. Cooking at that higher temperature would just help get that skin nice and crispy. Grill's cruising at 350 degrees, so let's get our chicken on. I'm gonna start it on the indirect heat side first. Put it right here and right here. I'm gonna cook them this way for most of the cook, and towards the end, I'll sear them off over those hot coals, get that beautiful char and sear. This will take about 30 to 45 minutes. So while that's cooking, we can go prep our cherry Coke sauce. Making a barbecue sauce from a soda or a flavored drink is actually very simple. In a small saucepan, I'm gonna add some ketchup, yellow mustard, oops, apple cider vinegar, a couple dashes of Worcestershire, a little bit of honey, some molasses, a little bit of barbecue seasoning, and finally about a half a can of cherry Coke. Mix everything together. I'm gonna bring this inside and simmer this over low heat for about 15 to 20 minutes until the sauce thickens up. It's been about 45 minutes. My chicken is temping right around 150, 155 internal. So it's time to sear it off. And to sear it, all that I'm gonna do is move it over the coals, skin side down first. This will take about 2 to 3 minutes to get that beautiful char and sear on the skin side. Now, as that fat renders down and drips on the coals, your grill will flare up, so don't walk away. This is probably the most common way that people burn their chicken. So we're just gonna keep an eye on it, cook until it gets that beautiful color, and then we'll give it a flip. Chicken is seared on both sides. Before pulling it off, I'm gonna move it back to the indirect heat side and just finish it off with my barbecue sauce. Sauce is looking and smelling absolutely amazing. Be sure to brush the chicken on both sides. Get that maximum flavor, maximum coating, just glistening in the sun. A couple chicken halves on the grill, cooking over charcoal, little barbecue sauce. Sun is out. This is it. I'm gonna close the grill and let these cook for another minute or so. Just let that sauce get nice and tacky, caramelize a little bit, and then my chickens will be ready to go. Chicken is done and resting, and just like with any other protein, you wanna be sure you let these guys rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. That's gonna allow the juices to redistribute, and you're gonna make a much better final product. All that's left to do is to give this a try. Let's get this drumstick off. Look at that. Saucy, shining. Let's give it a try. This chicken is delicious. You get the sweetness from the sauce first, but then you get this kind of a strong Coke flavor from the meat, right? That's from the brine, and a little back-end heat. I think that's from the jalapenos that we put in the brine, but it is delicious. It just really screams that kind of summer barbecue flavor. It's sweet. You get these kind of charred pieces. That skin is nice and crispy and has a really unique flavor from using the cherry Coke in the brine and then in the sauce. Yeah, this is this one's definitely a winner. We're keeping this one for the summer. It is delicious. If you're looking for a fun summer-inspired recipe, be sure to give this one a try because it's a winner. Make this one at home and let me know what you guys think.